Don't forget to leave a comment.
Welcome to another video. So we're just going to be testing this card out. I'm crafting it. No pack pulls today. What does it do? It's a free hand trap effect that you can only use if you're playing basically a water deck, because it stops you from activating the effects of light, earth, and wind monsters for the rest of the duel. But water is all good. And this hand trap negates an effect that would special summon a monster. Very powerful effect. Dominus Impulse, I think, is going to go in any like pure water going. So let's check out the game and see how it does. An opponent has very nice Cherry Blossom field. Loving to see that. And here it is, Dominus Impulse. Opponent, what are you doing? Go into the end phase, activating I don't know how to say this. Moonfang Dragon is going to special summon itself during the end phase. I don't know what this card does, but let's show off the Dominus. Now, like I said, we're going to turn off some of our hand traps, our Maxis, our Fool Ross, but I think it's worth it. Impulse, deny the opponent's summon. If we have a trap in the graveyard, it also destroys. So if you use this after using an impermanence, the Impulse will negate and destroy, which is crazy. And other great thing about the Impulse, it doesn't care about you having cards on the field. So if you're going second, you can hold this in the hand. And if your opponent wipes the field, you can still activate it from the hand. Kind of crazy. Alright, drawing another Impulse is also sweet. Paces. Get pacing. Summon that lifeless leaf fish. Send our ship to the graveyard. And Banish. Go to battle. Smack our opponent's Samsara Dragon. And we're just going to pass. And why did I set this, alright? You're going to ask the question. Why did I set this? There is no reason, alright? There is no reason. I'm just bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Literally, especially if you've already activated another one, alright, there's no reason to set it. The only reason to set it is if you're going first and you have a Max C in the hand, then you can activate this and still Max C, because it only locks you out of those monster effects if you activate it for free from the hand. So, bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! Opponent punished it by their monster in the end phase, and I could have just held this in the hand. You know what, that's fine. That's fine. Oh wait, hold on. We couldn't activate it because opponent had this in the... They didn't have a card on the field. Yeah, they gotta have a card on the field to activate the Impulse. But still, there is no reason to set this. I'm just bad. Opponent, you got your monster. Alright, what are you gonna do with it? We also got our fishes. So it's fishes versus whatever this is. Opponent trying to end the main phase. Giving us priority, so we're gonna go into our little fish thing. We're gonna fish, get a fish. Fish gonna summon itself. Banishing a fish. In the process, add a fish to our hand and banish it, immediately summoning it. Zep gonna summon itself to the field. Synchro 8. And we get to deal with opponent's monster. You get Azcan. Azcan Banish. Azcan come back. Should have used the Arion post here instead of the other one, but you know, it's fine. Opponent goes to battle. Main phase 2. Ending the turn. No plays. Love to see it. Looks like whatever opponent is up to. Seems like it got bodied by Dominus and Ghotis. No reason to play into Nibiru here. We got lethal damage with the fish. Dominus showing off its power, alright, and how to play it right. You learned from me how to play your Dominus hand traps right. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, Sim King channel lore. Alright, the longtime fans know all about this. A long time ago, alright, there was a viewer who in the comments said to me, this deck is Dark Magician tier. And ever since, alright, I have always just so happy when I find a Dark Magician opponent, because I can finally test, is my deck Dark Magician tier or not? Dark Magical Circle. Opponent just slamming the Maxi, no respect. You know what? I don't even care. We are missing a way to start plays, so we're gonna let them have their Maxi, and we're just gonna do the set pass. And like I said, alright, why are we setting Dominus after I just said not to? Okay, it's because we have Maxi in the hand. Now we can Dominus, negate an effect the opponent's going to do to summon a Dark Magician, and we can still activate our Max C if we want to later. Very cool. Opponent, your move. Opponent firing off a second Max C in their end phase. I think they thought this was my beginning phase, but opponent just firing off Max C in their own end phase like a player. We're going to fire off Crossout Designate. Alright, now this is not a mistake, because I'm naming paces. Love me some Crossout Designate. Crossout Designate in Ghotis is an extender. You banish your fish. It's negated this turn, but its effect doesn't activate till the next turn. So we're going to activate, summon our fish. It was not a mistake, alright? Not a mistake. I promise you. Paces. Get banished. Come back to our turn. Haste has come back to me, drawn another impulse. Would like our opponent to attack us so we can trigger this ice barrier. But for now, let's make an IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena is here, using our 2 monsters, letting us go into a Little Knight on opponent's turn if we want. Let's set our other impulse, a Ghotis Maxi. A boost, triggering the fish and opponent. Your move again. Fish comes back. We have nothing to summon. We need a level 4. Opponent still passing with no play. And here's the Abyss Shark. Gonna let us do some plays. Let's tribute summon because we have a non-water on field. Can't activate the Abyss Shark effect, sadly. Go into the Monosaurus. Gonna special summon back our fish. Synchro summon the Ravenous Croco Dragon to draw a card. Again, ourselves a Visual. We're very good against Dark Magicians here. Like I said, the Visuals are excellent. Smack opponent. Still got our IP Masquerade to activate on our opponent's turn, and our fish is coming back. Looking hot. Opponent. Double Dominus Impulse. Opponent firing off the Timaeus, sending their spell to the graveyard to special summon it, and we're just going to negate that. Opponent, negate it. And our second Dominus will now destroy. So, very cool. Dominus showing off the versatility. Opponent ended turn. Could have summoned a Little Knight, banished one of their back row, but it doesn't seem like it's doing anything right now. So, let us continue. Synchro summon instead of making an XC. Arion post banish. Get our Sykes. Maxi sitting in hand and being useless. Maybe they need to play around opponent summoning monsters this game. And looks like Dark Magician tier maybe is not as good as people thought. Maybe not as good. Let's go on to the next game. Dominus looking pretty hot. Alright, on to the next game. Cherry Blossom Field again. Love me some Cherry Blossom Field. Again, Ghotis with the no 1-card starters. Maybe difficult with Ghotis to play this many hand traps. We might want to play some more extenders. Or more starters, alright. More starters. We're going to just make a SP Little Knight using 2 cards to make an SP Little Knight, including an Ash Blossom. It's not great. Maybe this is worse than just passing with Dream Shark in play. I don't know. You let me know what you think. We're going to set some cards. Not setting the Dominus, just because, I mean, really I should set it here, though. And what do you know? It's another Dark Magician tier player. Let's find out if our extremely bricky hand is going to lose to Dark Magician's opponent. Trying to summon their Magician Soul, or special summon a Dark Magician from their graveyard. So we're going to negate that. Get negated. Dominus Impulse from the hand. Negate. Should have said it. Now I'm locked out of Maxi, but it's fine. We don't need Maxi. Back to our turn. Alright, drawing a finger. Not really what we wanted, but that'll. We're going to pro gamer move, alright? If opponent doesn't have a Dark Magician in hand, and we banish the Dark Magician from the graveyard, then they will not be able to summon a Dark Magician. Do they have it? Opponent. Dark Magician in the graveyard is banished. Opponent, do you have it? They do! It's Dark Magician in the hand! Alright. We're in trouble. And let's not just dodge here. Get dodging. Dark Magician's unaffected by our effect to dodge, but that's fine. You're about to die though. Well, not. And it's going to summon itself. And if it play here, a little bit, you want to win it. It can have to do a fusion summon, alright? Great issue with Yugioh, right? When you steal an opponent's monster, and they have activated an effect that makes them perform a fusion summon, they have a monster in the hand that they can fuse with, they legally have to. And the only way to verify this is to call a judge. So if your opponent, you're playing paper, and your opponent has a fusion, then you say, judge, but your opponent has no monster to fuse with. Look at their deck. It's full audit. Crazy game, Yugioh. They should probably change that rule. Alright. Match rule 6 maybe? Fixed fusion summoning. Alright. Timaeus. Looks like opponent had to use a monster in the hand. Make an event. Okay. Dark monster in their graveyard. Summon it. Instead of activating the call by the grave, alright, we're gonna negate with the Infirm. Why are we doing that? because opponent's Eternal Soul has not been activated yet, so if I tried to finger, it's the Eternal Soul to dodge the finger. Unacceptable. Programmer play. Eternal Soul, chaining. Call by the Grave. Banishing. Look at me, I'm a pro gamer. I'm a pro gamer versus Dark Magician. We are still gonna die though, we have nothing. Well, we have Little Knight coming back. We're not dead yet. Get negated, opponent. Dark Magicians, 2 of them are banished, alright, and I don't know my opponent's deck, but it's possible they have only 2. Many players, alright, out there in the world, only play 2 Dark Magicians. Crazy. And their Dark Magician deck. Opponent had the and that speeds up the clock pretty significantly. Now instead of taking 3 turns to die, it's going to take us 1 more turn to die. Oh, forgot about the old Timaeus as well. And what do you know? We drew the perfect card, Beautiful Princess, which is going to let us full combo. We have 2 lines here. We could go into a rank 4 XZ, go into the Stealth Kraken, or the Silent Honor Arc, and yoinkify opponent's Master of Chaos. Both options that we could do. Or we could do the Ghotis play. Ghotis play is more fun. Ghotis play sets us up for future engine value. Let's get Ghotis. No combat this turn, but if we can start banishing opponent's stuff, we might be able to do a DP on, wipe the whole field. Shift, come to me. Opponent, going to activate, and what do you know? Opponent, attributing a Light and Dark monster, banishing all monsters we control. So, SP Little Knight, the play here, alright, the correct play. SP Little Knight, target Lifeless Fish, target Master of Chaos. Opponent banishes our ship, it's going to come back on our next turn. Oh, banish their Master of Chaos, so it's gone. Yeah, then we're good. Opponent sees the line, and they are done. Wow, very cool. So, are we Dark Magician tier? I think not. I think we're a little Dark Magician tier. Case proven. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, we've seen some Blue Eyes today. Seen some Dark Magician. See what other decks people are playing. Opponent. Let's show you our moves. We're gonna normal Silent Angler, Abyss Shark getting the Dream Shark, and go into that Stealth Kraken. And we're Sharks deck now. I was kidding earlier when I said we were a Ghotis deck. We're actually playing Sharks. Just kidding. This is a weird hand. Opponent Turtle. What the? Opponent playing Umi. We got ourselves a fellow Umi lover. Love to see it. Alright, love to see it. Opponent. Your Umi luck is not going to be very good against us, but we do have ourselves a little bit of a game. Jellyfish is here, and no sense negating or trying to pop the Jelly, because Jelly will negate our Kraken, and then it will boost its own attack with, so we're going to hold our pop. Back to our turn. Ice Barrier, very nice. Ice Barrier, more like Nice Barrier. Let's try and contest the Jellyfish activation. Looks like opponent has the out to our negate on the Jellyfish, or pop of the Jellyfish with the Imperm, but nice to see that we're getting some removal out of the opponent. Let's try and pressure the Jellyfish with combat. Opponent has the Ice Barrier. That was why, alright, and I know the deck, so that was why I attacked with the Gameciel first. Want to keep our Stealth Kraken safe. And get in there with the Kraken. Main phase 2. Now that the negates are out of the way, Abyss Shark activates, search for the Lifeless Fish, normal summon, send the 8 fish to the graveyard, and we're looking pretty hot. Except, hold on, there's a problem. Our levels are reduced because of Legendary Ocean, so it's going to be hard for us to do some synchro plays, but we'll just do synchro plays, you know, a little different. We'll do them a little different. Opponent, Ice Barrier, get Banishing to search, getting a Jellyfish back to the hand, sending Kairyu-Shin to the graveyard. They know that we can pop if they just summon the Kairyu, so it's not really good for them. And opponent passing with 1 step back row. Let's ask can. It added up to 8. Banish. One had that there can only be 1. Very, very mean. Alright, only 1 monster. That is not very good if it resolves. Glad to have banished that. As can come back. Jellyfish is here. Opponent summons their Kairyu, but gets destroyed at the end of the battle phase. Back to our turn. And let's get our fish. And I think it's time to deal with opponent's stuff. Jelly. Get popping. Get rid of that negate. Force the negate away. And now, let us have our levels. As can banish the legendary ocean. Come back to me, as can. Banish a fish to return. And opponent's negate is gone. Their levels have been nullified. Let's get our keep. Let's banish keep. Let's get to battle. Let's use our ice barrier to get some extra damage and get our search going. And it's going to be very hard for opponent to get out of this situation. Alright, opponent is looking pretty cooked. SP Little Knight, take away their last remaining hope. Banish that Umi. We got our pop, we got our SP Little Knight. Opponent has one card. Our Keef is coming back. If opponent special summons a monster, we can target it and one of our level 6 or lower fish, and then banish their card, our card, get the fish back. We do need to leave the fish banished though, so I'm gonna be a little greedy. I'm not gonna leave the fish banished. We can use SP Little Knight to banish one of our fish if we want. Opponent looks like they got nothing. Mad respect opponent for not scooping and letting us get some nice easy lethal with Ghotis being able to control. Love to see it. Let's go. On to the next game. On to the next game. As usual, I will have the full deck list at the end of the video, so don't you worry. Don't you worry about it. Opponent, are you playing Blue Eyes? I think you are. Alright. Now, this time, I'm going to negate the Sage. Sage. Negate. Alright, in fact, I would recommend that you just go ahead and negate the dragon that searches the field spell, rather than negate the Sage. I'm only doing this because I have Ash Blossom in the hand, as well as a Bestial. So, I'm kind of feeling like I got a lot of hand traps, I want to use them all. Opponent going into their spirit. We're going to let them get the field spell here. I'm just kidding, I'm going to Ash this. Alright. I want to fight, I want to fight. We want to use all our hand traps, like I said. We do kind of want them to send a Blue Eyes to the graveyard though, because Bestialing it is just going to be so hot. Use Maiden in the White. Alright. And activating the effect of Spirit. But they don't have a Blue Eyes on the field, so maybe they have one in the hand. Chaining their True Light here. Getting a Wishes to the field. And there's the Blue Eyes. It was in the hand. Blue Eyes in the hand zone. Maiden in White trigger, and we're going to banish that Maiden in White. Deny opponent the ability to Synchro Summon. And we're going to search for another Bestial. Opponent wishing with Eyes of Blue. Discarding an effect failure to get the Roar. And a Sage. And looks like they are going to forget that they are going first and go into a Tyrant Dragon. Getting a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon is not bad though. Maybe they didn't forget. I don't know why you would do this though. This is a strange choice. Unaffected by trap cards, but really not something you want to do going first. We search for another Bestial. We're going to activate it in the end phase. Alright, fun fact about the Bestial. You can activate it in the end phase if you search for it. And even if you summon your Pizza Hut in the end phase, it still can search in the end phase. So you get 2 Bestials in the same turn in the end phase. Crazy. Wait, there are Blue Eyes. Now they are down to 1 Blue Eyes only probably, or maybe 0. Some people only play 1. True Light. Setting. Drawing that Lifelessly Fish, very nice. Obviously. Lifeless gonna send a shift to the graveyard. Shift activate. The crossroad designate, which we can use to search for a Ghotis. Let's give our opponent a turtle. Maybe a bit unnecessary, but it's small enough now that we can attack over it. Clear our opponent's field of monsters. Destroy the other one first so that Blue Eyes Jet Dragon can't trigger, although it also can't trigger if they don't have a Blue Eyes in the graveyard. So, shouldn't be able to trigger, but just play safe. Let's activate Crossout. Like I said, we're going to use that as an extender. Get our paces. Pass the turn. And looks like a Deep Beyonding turn. We'll see what opponent gets up to. We'll use our first Ghotis to do some shenanigans. Our second Ghotis to Deep Beyond Wishes. Sending a Neo Kaiser. And chaining the True Light again. Opponent pro gamer play. Always chain your True Light to confuse your opponent. Get the chain level as high as possible. Roar the Blue Eyed is here. And a Maiden White. Getting a Spirit. Spirit going to activate, and we're just holding. Like, there's no need to do anything until we want to disrupt our opponent. Tyrant Dragon is back. That will have to go. Mausoleum is here. Let's activate. Synchro Summon as can. And that's going to trigger the effect of the Druid Swarm. That's going to send their special summon monster to the graveyard, and we get to banish their field spell. Opponent. Your Tyrant Dragon is gone. Your field spell is gone. Does Blue Eyes have any more tricks up their sleeve? Let's find out. Opponent has the Roar. Getting back Blue Eyes. Ooh, very spicy. This could be their last Blue Eyes. Maiden is back. Let's chain the paces. Get pacing. Synchro Summon. The DPR on an opponent. Be nuked. All cards be gone. Ending the turn. May not realize that all of our fish are coming back. And at the sight of our beautiful big fish opponent. Do you still have the will to live? I think not. Mind Crush. Beautiful game. Thank you, Blue Eyes. Easy farm with Ghotis. Let's go on to the... And then let's get on to the survey. Alright, the survey. I love the survey. Let's go. Alright, here it is, Dominus Ghoty. And we're playing Ghotis. Check out my new Ghoty list. Let's go. We are playing Triple Tuna, 2 Maximum Seas, 2 Paces, 2 Shifts, 1 Zep, 1 Keef, triple of the Ash Blossom, 2 Silent Anglers, 1 Buzzsaw, triple Lifeless Sleepfish, 1 Mulcharmy Full Rust. This also gets turned off, alright, by the Dominus Impulse, but I still think it's worth it. Kinda crazy. It's worth it to run your monster that's turned off by the effect of your cool new card, because it's too strong. We got the Abyss Sharks, we got the Dream Shark, we got Pizza Hut, we got 2 Bistro Druid Swarms, we got the Snopios, the Sykes, give me CL. We got Foolish Bralgats, we got 2 Call by the Graves, we got a Crossout Designate, we got the Ice Bearer, we got 2 Imperms, and we got the triple Dominus Impulse. I like this card, I think it's very good. I don't know if this is the right hand trap distribution. It's difficult for Ghotis to play this many hand traps. We are playing Crossout, so if you do want a variety of hand traps, maybe it'd be right to cut this for an Effect Veiler. Seeing a lot of Effect Veilers lately. Might be right to cut an Imperm for an Effect Veiler, except here I am saying that Effect Veiler gets turned off by Dominus, so probably not the correct flip. Probably not correct. Definitely just keep your Imperms here. Nibiru also turned off by the Dominus, so we're not playing in Nibiru, but instead we're playing a Kaiju. It's kind of similar. Yeah, so that's the deck. You let me know what you think about the distribution of the hand traps. If I should be cutting stuff, maybe is this like better than Ash Blossom? Should we cut Ash Blossoms for Dominus? Ash Blossom negates Maxi, so I feel like you kind of have to keep it. But maybe there's other cards we could cut and, you know, play the Dominuses, because they seem very good. I definitely think you want to play this at 3. And all future water decks are going to want to see if they can build around this card. Extra deck, 2 Arion Post, White Aura Monoceros, Whale. We got Azcan, Croco Dragon, Ghoty, Honor Arc, Kragan, Silent Honor Arc, Nash Knight, IP Masquerena, Little Knight. I didn't show you all the games, but I did actually use all the cards were used. Every card was used. I even made the Nash Knight and the Silent Honor Arc. I think I won a game by attacking with this. Sorry I didn't play that one. I guess I couldn't find it when I was going through the replays. So all full extra deck was used. If you have ideas about the extra deck, you let me know. Now, the survey. See if I can find it. Let's go. Okay, here it is. Here's the survey, right? In your notifications, if you want to do the survey, you should do the survey, okay? And I already did it, so let's see if it lets me see the questions again. It might not. It might say you've already done... Yeah, I've already taken the survey. So we're going to talk about what the survey was, and I'm going to talk about my complaints about Yu-Gi-Oh!, my suggestions. Okay. They ask a lot of questions. They ask, like, most of the questions, like, what other games are you playing? Alright, what other games do you play? And I told them, alright, you know, I play Magic Arena. I play other card games. And they didn't ask about, like, they asked about a lot of weird games I don't play. They didn't ask about Helldivers. I play Helldivers. That game's great. I play Age of Empires because I love strategy games. So that's the first part of the survey. Second part, I start asking you, like, what are the things that you like about Yu-Gi-Oh? What are the things you don't like about Yu-Gi-Oh? And I specifically, and they were asked about, like, Duel Links, the Yu-Gi-Oh paper TCG, and Master Duel. So for Duel Links, the answer is easy. I stopped playing Duel Links as soon as Master Duel came out, not because I like the gameplay better, but because the acquisition system for cards in Duel Links is garbage. They don't have a good crafting system, they still don't. It's very difficult to build new decks because of the way card acquisition is in that game, with the random pulls, no ability to dismantle, no ability to craft the cards you want. The only way to get the cards you want is with the credit card that you have to exchange money for the RNG to pull the cards you want from the packs. So that system, I just really don't like. I don't want to go back to that, and that's kind of the reason I'm not playing Duel Links. If they had a Duel Links mode in Master Duel, I 100% would play it. So didn't suggest that, but that's my thought on Duel Links. Yeah, and then paper TCG, I don't know how people play that. I'm completely honest. Like, I can't understand the rules of the game while I'm playing in a simulator because the cards are too complicated. And I'm not like, I've been playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I literally play professionally, you could say, in a way, because YouTube pays me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But, you know, if I can't play the game in paper, how are other people supposed to play? How are you supposed to pick up a casual game and play Yu-Gi-Oh! When the cards, like, are incomprehensible, you know? And I think that Konami has to do a better job of making a comprehensible game. I think they tried to do this with Rush Duel, but then they never released it in America. So I don't know what their like strategy is with that. Seems a bit weird. If I were them, I would think that would be their number one solution for TCG, is like, we got to find a way to get this game to a position where it's simple enough that people can actually understand what's happening. Because it's hard enough when people are playing like wrong because they don't know the cards, but when you're playing in an event, you don't know your opponent's deck. Because how could you know your deck and your opponent's deck? It's a big ask. Your opponents can cheat very easily because they just say like, oh, my card does this, and you're like, okay, like, what am I supposed to do? Read 10,000 words? You know, there's a timer, there's people waiting. Yeah, so that's my problems with TCG and Master Duel. We're talking about Master Duel. The game system in Master Duel is great. Best way to actually like play Yu-Gi-Oh! The system. The gameplay is like engaging, fun. The effects are cool. It's fast. It's slick. You know, Master Duel as a system is great. My biggest complaint is, why is Advanced the only format in this game? They could do so much more. I've said this many times. You go back to Magic Arena, and I'm sorry for ranting with the Master Duel survey screen on. I could put something else. Let's go back to let's go to the home page. Maybe I'll start playing a video. But yeah, Master Duel. All right. Why? Okay. Why do we only have Advanced? We talk about Magic Arena all the time. Magic Arena has probably like 10 different formats that are you can constantly play. Not only do they have best of 3, which Master Duel still doesn't support, all right, for all their formats. Magic Arena has draft format. Magic Arena has standard. They have Pioneer. They have timeless. They have like all these different formats with different like cards lists of different power levels. And it's just like, if you get sick of one format, instead of going to play another game, all right, because why would I play another game? I can just play a different format of the same game that feels like a new game, but it's still in the same game. So I could play Magic all day, non-stop. It's bad, it's unhealthy, but I can because it's so fun to play all these different formats. To, you know, play Commander format in Arena. You can. I don't know, people don't know this. I've played it before, and people are like, oh my god, you can actually play Commander in Arena. They have 1v1 Commander only, but and it's called Brawl. But very fun, you know, play with your Commander. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have this. Why? They do all these events, right? Every once in a while, they'll do like a 3-day event where you play like 2004 format. And like I said in the survey, I said like, you guys need to have these formats, alternative formats, be available all the time, because people get bored of Advanced. It's complicated. The combo is so long that, you know, people just want to taste something else gameplay-wise, and there's no option inside the client, even though it could support it very easily. So I think that's my biggest complaint. You let me know if you're sticking around to hear my complaints this long. Let me know what your complaints are about Master Duel, what you would suggest to fix it. Because yeah, I think the other big problem, and this is a big problem I've complained about a lot, all right, long combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! All right, we all know that long combos in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are a big problem. You always got the choice, like, do I bother to sit and wait for my opponent to combo, or do I scoop if I'm out of hand traps? Because maybe I can beat the board if I draw some interaction, but it takes them, you know, I've seen 8-minute combos, and it's like, why do I want to? I don't want to wait 8 minutes watching my opponent play solitaire to maybe draw it out. And then there's some like level solutions to this, but I think there's some banlist solutions and some alternate format solutions as well. If If you want to leave formats where people can do this sort of thing, I think it's fine. I think it's fine every once in a while, but the ease of people comboing, like Snake Eyes especially, is the biggest villain right now. Although Yu-Gi-Oh has a lot of decks that do this style of gameplay, and they've been around for a long time. Do all these long combos, kind of immune to interruption, and they end on a board that's like 10,000 negates, in a sense that you don't get to play, right? We've all been there. And it generates a lot of what I like consider to be non-games where one player does stuff and the other player doesn't really get to do anything. And I think those games aren't fun, they're not interesting. So why does Konami design the game in a way that those games happen so often, right? And I think the one card unlimited combo with multiple backup disruption, protection, and recursion it's the kind of the culprit there. And Snake Eyes are the biggest offender right now. They're not the only one, but they're the biggest offender for sure. So I would like to see some heavy bans. I know Konami's last ban list. I think we have the ban list in here. No, that's the survey again. That's the survey. We got a new ban list somewhere. Here we go. March. Yeah, this ban list was a bit of a joke. Beatrice, like they just want to screw Chillermans over, I guess. This card is really broken right now, but this is kind of just screws Chillermans over. Like slight hit to Tenpai, which Tenpai games are fast. I know people hate Tenpai. I never hated Tenpai. Tenpai is so fair and it's so fast. All right, it doesn't combo 1,000 turns. It just does simple plays and it wins the game. Sometimes if you can't disrupt them, like that's fine. That's a game. That's a game where you played interaction. Opponent had to deal with your board. Like I get the field spell's broken, but you know, it's a fun interactive deck. This is a mistake. Block Dragon sucks. The turns that people do with Block Dragon are exactly the worst part of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I really wish they did not unban this card. If I see a Block Dragon, I will concede. I don't want to wait that long for you to do your plays. It's just not entertaining. Pearly's fine. The deck is quite quick. It's like I said, its gripe with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the long combos, and Pearlies are fine. And this was the whole ban list. Like, this ban list is a bit of a joke. No hits to Snake Eyes, the most powerful, the most annoying deck. Like, this is not a hit to Snake Eyes. We all know this. I don't know what Konami's thinking, what they're smoking. But, you know, those are the ways I think they can fix the game, alright? And you know, master rule changes, we've talked a little about master rule changes since I'm ranting here, and we're almost done. Alright, what are my master rule change suggestions? Because I've got a list somewhere. If you want to hear more of them, we'll come back later. But I think one that is one of the best suggestions, alright? Player going second draws their card at the beginning of the other person's turn. So you start with 6 cards in the hand. That way, if you have nothing, you aren't gonna draw your card on the next turn. You skip your first draw. You know already your hand has all the things it's gonna have. So if you want to scoop, you can just make that decision now instead of having to wait 8 minutes for your opponent to combo, hoping top deck some board breaker that you already, that you might not get. Now you know you already have it or not, you can decide whether you want to scoop or not. Because that way, you're saving your life, your valuable time in life has been saved by this. And you can go and play a game where you have some interaction that's going to be more fun. That's my #1 suggestion, alright? You let me know what's your suggestions for Master Duel. Let me know in the comments what you want to put in the survey, what you think about Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanks so much for sticking around to the end. The fans are what keep me coming back to the channel, alright? So appreciate you. Thanks a lot, and have a good night.